Good morning everybody. This is our campsite on the Somme. We are staying in these crazy little flatbed shelters. And we're staying here because every world leader is gathering in about 2 hours to come and mark the start of one of history's greatest battles 100 years ago this morning. We're sleeping in a campsite, in a farmyard. There's a big pile of manure right next to my tent. That was nice. My little cabin, that was nice. But if we come up here, I'll show you dawn. Dawn is now breaking above the Somme. 100 years ago now, tens and tens of thousands of men. Hello in Chicago, how are you doing? Tens of thousands of men were gathering in the second line trenches, in the front line trenches, prepared to go over the top. Young men, excited for the most part, scared of course, but confident, I think, that the Germans opposite them would have been destroyed after a week of incredibly heavy bombardment. The heaviest bombardment really in history to that date. Over 1.5 million shells have been blasted down on German positions, quite near where I am now actually, just up here. I'll show you in a second when we get out to this field. And hello in New Mexico, hi guys, hi in Brazil, how are you? Thanks for sharing. Cyber Patchy, very kind. I'm just trudging through the Somme mud. It's been raining here like it was 100 years ago. Sadly, 100 years ago, here's some of the mud. We've been pulling cars out of the mud, we've been getting it all done. Check that mud out there. But sadly, 100 years ago, well, 100 years ago, the mud affected operations. But on the 1st of July today, it was an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day. Oh good, I'm glad you listened to the podcast. Justin Willis. Woody, thanks for sharing. Scooby-Doo, thanks for sharing. Hi in New Zealand, how's it going? This is a great honour for me today because thanks for inviting followers, thanks for sharing. It's a great honour for me today because I'm here on the 1st of July, which is 100 years since the start of the Somme. One of the biggest, well, the biggest and bloodiest battles certainly in British history, Commonwealth history, and one of the biggest in world history as well. Now here we are, this is the battlefield itself. Morning Cornwall, hello Niagara Falls. Hey, how you doing everybody? Thank you, Vegas Peter. Hi from the Periscope office. Hey, how you doing guys? I'll be periscoping all day today, don't worry. Hopefully there's some good ones coming out with the commemorations here today. Now look, there's a tickle of queuing in Albert. Hey buddy, that's good to see you soon. There's a bit of a tickle of colour in that sky now. 100 years ago now, it was perfect blue sky. The skylarks were singing, the guns were about to fall silent, and these fields were about to witness the greatest bloodshed in the history of the British Army. 60,000 men would be killed or wounded in one day. They would attack from down there. If you see the valley down there, they would come out of that valley down there, out of those trees towards the German positions that were up here, and they were met with not dead or demoralised Germans, but strong German positions. Germans able to set the machine guns up and take a terrible toll on the attacking British. 60,000 people killed or wounded in one day. And for my Americans watching, my American friends, remember this is also the anniversary of Gettysburg, so there's something terrible about the 1st of July. It's a momentous date in history. Now, I don't know if you can pick them out there, but you can see some poppies in these fields, which obviously the poppy became synonymous with the slaughter on the Western Front. There's sort of a splash of red there. Hey in Kentucky, how are you? Talk about what happened here. It's difficult to come to terms with the number of people that were killed here. I'm now off to the ceremony where the heads of state from around the world will be gathering, and we will be commemorating all the morning as it happened 100 years ago. So I will be on Twitter and Instagram and all sorts of things all day. Please follow on Facebook. I'm Dan Snow's History Hit, and also I've got a free app out. You can go to the Royal British Legion, Android and iOS. You just go Somme 100 and my app will be there. It's totally free for you guys, and also lots of podcasts out at the moment. I'm doing the Somme totally covering it in every single way I can, because I don't think the anniversary's come much bigger than this. I'm just going to come around this corner. There's a few farmhouses here. You will see in the Somme there is nothing in this area that is more than 100 years old, because hello in Kansas, how you doing? There's nothing in this area that's more than 100 years old, because this entire landscape was turned into a moonscape by the Battle of the Somme. It raged from 1st of July until November, late November. This little ridge up ahead of me that you can see, which you're going to come around the corner and you're just, oh, thanks Sean for inviting somebody. You can see the church there, Thiepval village. Thiepval village was a objective on the first day of the British attack, the first day, July the 1st. The British did not take it. They were they were repulsed with terrible casualties. Here's some poppies blowing in the wind. They were repulsed with terrible casualties, and this village was not taken until September, mid-September. So it was an objective on day 1, July the 1st, and it was not taken until September. That is how slow and bloody things were on the Somme. Hi Tim. This is my director and producer here. Hello Tim. I'm gonna walk, buddy. I'll catch you there. So lazy. Classic French row of trees here. I'm now walking along the battlefield. You can see those trees are where the Ulster Division, the 36th Ulster Division, came out of those trees. This time, 100 years ago now, they were crawling forward into no man's land, preparing for the assault up this ridge. They actually did very well, the Ulster Division. They managed to break into the German positions where I'm standing now, but then they were isolated, surrounded and cut to pieces, and had to retreat very much from nearly all of their gains by the end of the day. But this is every day, that's right, it's New Zealand Aircraft Fan, they find unexploded ordnance in here. Every time this field gets ploughed, there will be bombs, shells that will be unearthed. Were produced by hastily assembled factories, hastily assembled workers. Lots of the women brought into the factories, and these shells were not very well made because of the inexperience of the people making them and the factories making them. And so lots of the British shells were duds, and they landed on these fields and didn't explode. That's one of the reasons for the failure on the first day of the Somme. And it also means that we are still reaping the iron harvest of the Somme. People still die in France and Belgium in this year. The First World War is still killing people in 2016. It's pretty crazy. So we're getting towards the village of Thiepval here. This was a village that the Salford Pals attacked. A group of friends who joined up from the town of Salford in Lancashire, industrial town. They attacked this village, and probably 50% of them were wiped out in the first half an hour. Alongside them were the Northumberland Fusiliers, men from Newcastle, including footballers who played in the Newcastle football team before the war. They were also wiped out attacking this village on the first day of the Somme, 100 years ago today. So guys, not much in the way of sun shining at the moment, unlike 100 years ago, but a momentous time to be here, and a great privilege to be here nonetheless. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.